We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Puts in the penalty and wins the grand final for Campbelltown City. Welcome to Regency Park for round 14 of the RA8 National Premier League South Australia this afternoon. Croydon FC host Adelaide Comets. Last time these two teams met, back in round 3, was a fiery affair in which Croydon were reduced to 10 men in the 47th minute and reduced again to 9 with the dismissal of their keeper in the 92nd. It was the first time that Croydon's head coach, George Sonis, met his previous team. And on the night, Comets came away with a 2-0 win thanks to a late brace from Aladdin Irabona in the 88th and 93rd minute. Let's have a bit of a closer look at the lineups before we talk about some recent form. First, talk about the home side, Croydon. Unchanged lineup from last week. Daniel Margush in goals. Luke Klimek wearing the number 5, their captain. Number 6, Christopher Vivian. Number 7, Maya Hisamoto. Number 8, Adam Martinello. Number 10, Thomas Greco. Number 11, Oscar Slattery. Number 12, Luca Trimboli. Number 15, James Polly. Number 17, Passia John. And number 22, Bolma Port. For Comets this afternoon, they played that big midweek cup game, and surprisingly, after a big shift for some of their players on Wednesday night, relatively unchanged. Nicholas Robinson, the only omission, but he's not currently eligible to play in NPL. Wearing the number 1, it's Daniel Vaughan. Number 5, big defender Matthew Chandler. Number 10, Anthony Mavrolambardos. Number 11, Jaden Labasso. Number 14, Aladdin Irabona, who came back into the side Wednesday night. Number 17, Ethan Karkafiris. Number 19, Stelios Zacharakis. Number 21, Nicholas Economopoulos. Number 22, Minsun Park. Number 27, Harry Thomas. Number 66, Damian Luich. The home team, Croydon, classically known as Polonia, kicking from right to left of your screen. As you can probably tell from the look of the South Road just behind the park, a little bit wet. It's a little bit of, it's barely raining at the moment. As Comets send this one forward. Luich. Back to Chandler. It was a big performance for today's visitors on Wednesday night in the Cup. As I mentioned before, Aladdin Irabona making his return to the side. Played 120 minutes and took part in penalties as well. So a big effort from Wednesday for this team to back up. Comets had the sort of performance against Metro Stars, even though they didn't get the win, that they can build the majority on their season from. The staff pretty encouraged after the effort they put forth against Metro Stars. But as I said earlier, it will be a big effort today to back up that performance on Wednesday. As Mavrolambardos is dispossessed. Adelaide Comets controlling the early minute or two of this game. On in the air by Zacharakis. Luich battles, finds Irabona. So you can already see just a little bit of intensity about Adelaide Comets here. Paul clears. Once Hisamoto. The referee today, Dennis Palusaj, assisted by Thomas Temby and Joshua Britvek. Of course, we thank the RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia. And if you love the game, why not study it? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. Chance for Croydon here to control a little bit of the tempo of the game. James Polly working with Oscar Slattery. Back to Bolmaport. Bolmaport was the player that received the red card just after halftime last time these two sides met, back in round 3. Slattery goes wide as he searches for options. Well, did make it as far as James Polly. And Oscar Slattery will find himself with a wet sock after that challenge. So we mentioned a little bit about Comets and that big performance on Wednesday. Strange to refer to that performance so encouragingly when they did eventually lose to Metro Stars in the Cup in penalties, but given how dominant Metro Stars have been, it was pretty impressive to just see them go the full 120 minutes all locked up. But on the flip side, you've got Croydon, who have just been chugging along. For Croydon, they've won the last 3 games on the trot, scoring 8 goals in the process, conceding just 2. Passia John, a big standout last week, so he'll be an interesting one to watch this afternoon. Wearing the number 17. You can see him on the far side, next to where the throw-in's about to take place. Fifth minute on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Simon Jimenez keeping you company for this one from Regency Park, by the way. From the comfort of a pretty nice commentary box here at Regency Park. One of the newer facilities for an NPL club in our competition. And the pitch and the stand looking pretty nice, even though the weather a little bit grey today. Not too bad for the early game of this afternoon. Of course, we got the RAA NPLSA action started last night with 2 games. Jack Smith Park saw West Torrens Bacalla hosting Adelaide City. in that affair, West Torrens Bacalla got a huge win, 4-0 against City. Makes it 2 losses for, well, at least a couple on the trot for Adelaide City as this cross comes in. Passia John doesn't get it initially, but he holds that play and puts himself into space. Nice centering ball. Kick comes off the left boot, but doesn't get past Daniel Vaughan, who had an absolute... Oh, here we go. Slip from Margouche, but gets out of jail free there. Just going back to the keeper at the other end. Vaughan had an extraordinary game on Wednesday night. Probably the hero of the Comets side to allow his side to withstand an onslaught from Metro Stars late in the game. Even stopped a penalty as well. Let's just quickly revisit last night's games as well. So we were talking about West Torrens Bacalla getting the 4-0 win against Adelaide City. A brace for Claas and Thomas in that one in the second half. And Modbury Jets locked up with Para Hills. So 1-1 in that affair. Chance here for Comets. Passia John gets his head to it. Again, Daniel Vaughan more than equal to it. So the results last night do mean that we've got some potential for some ladder movement this afternoon. And Croydon are currently sitting in 4th spot at the moment. 22 points. FK Beergrad and Adelaide United Youth are playing this afternoon following this game. Of course, FSA Leagues is where you can check it out if you don't want to get down and watch that game. So it does mean with Croydon, if they do get a win, there is the chance to leapfrog one or two of those teams even. As it's sent in. So a big carrot for Croydon to chase this afternoon. Meanwhile, Comets currently on 17th place. A win would give them the chance to finish the round in 6th spot, best case scenario. Irabonna sends it in. Big Matthew Chandler tried to find it. He's casting a shadow over Jaden Labusso in that instance. It's kept in. Balmaport defending tightly there. It will be a goal kick. Just again going back to that ladder scenario. Comets in 8th spot, 17 points. Playford and Campbelltown currently on 19. So if results go their way, they can slip into the top 6, which would be huge for them. Fed back to Balmaport, who's towering over Aladdin Irabonna, who hope to cause him some problems this afternoon. Chance for Comets going forward. Park finding Labusso. Gets that ball off. Didn't quite make it to Aladdin Irabonna. Labusso trying his luck from a way out. So one of the encouraging things for Comets that we saw Wednesday was, of course, the return of Aladdin Irabonna, but on field it resulted in Comets producing a lot more attacking opportunities. Jaden Labusso not looking so lonely up the front there, I guess. So may see a bit more of a re-energised Comets attack. Chance here. Margouche. And there we go. Scoring open just the 10th minute. Not dealt with enough conviction for the home side. And Comets with something to celebrate early. So there we are, just 10 minutes in. Comets lead away. So the home side, a little bit of chasing to do early on. And I've just gone back to check who the scorer was. Damien Luich, the Comets player, getting that goal in the 11th minute off of that corner, as Croydon had a chance there. That cross finding Passia John, but his touch not quite good enough. Irabona. Nice ball. That Hinsung Park just manages to get to. The cross has no one on the end of it but a white shirt. Isamoto found Trimboli. Just avoids the Comets player to find Passia John. 6 goals in NPL has Passia John at the moment, and had a huge game last week with 2 goals. An arrival from Adelaide Olympic for this season. He's a versatile player because he can play on either wing. With his crafty left foot. Margos chooses long. Finds the head of John again. The Canadian Chandler picks out Irabona. He has got Labasso in the middle. He's trying to give him a little bit of space to cross. Chooses to distribute instead. There's the cross. Comets do get a throw-in for their efforts. That'll be taken by Stelios Zakarakis. Sends it in long. Park doesn't manage to beat Bulmapore to it. It looks like we've had someone helpful retrieve that ball out in the car park. Wouldn't imagine too many spectators would be rushing to do that because the rain's still just drizzling down slowly. Matthew Chandler just almost got his head to it. The top of his head, which sits 197 centimetres above the ground. He had a tremendous game Wednesday night. His physical presence putting a lot of pressure on Metro Stars, especially their main 2 strikers in Windsor and Woodfin. Not really letting him see too much of it throughout most of the game, although they did sort of have more opportunities late. Speaking of the Cup, going to be a big one this Wednesday night at Service FM Stadium. FK Beograd and Adelaide Croatia Raiders reigniting an old rivalry to face off in neutral territory. FK Beograd got the win in last round of RAA NPLSA. But there'll be different stakes midweek in their Australia Cup tie. If you want to get your tickets, no doubt it'll be a huge atmosphere. Visit the Football SA website. Game slowed down a little bit. Again, there doesn't seem to be a huge rush of spectators to help grab the match ball. "17 minutes on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. Minton Park charges forward. Bypasses Mavrilen Bardos. Made it all the way to Harry Thomas. His last touch, not good enough. Harry Thomas is the only player starting for Comets today that didn't start on Wednesday night. Although he did make an appearance late. Came on the 91st minute to help out for extra time. Isamoto wins it. Finds captain Luke Klimek. Martinello for support. But Comets just providing a little bit of high pressure, which was something that worked for them on that Wednesday night game that we keep referring to. Pass here, John. Fancied himself a chance to get into that 18-yard box, but he's cut out. An attempt at some fancy footwork there, but ends up over the sideline. Home side not really able to produce much to threaten Comets at this stage. We're getting closer to the halfway mark of the first half. And we're getting closer to kick-off in the other 3 o'clock games this afternoon. So Adelaide Croatia Raiders will be hosting Metro Stars, who no doubt will be flying high after their midweek Australia Cup win. And up in Playford, Ramsey Park will see Playford City host Campbelltown. And Campbelltown's got a little bit of confidence as of late. That game, number 6 versus number 7 on the ladder. So both teams just trying to find a place in that top 6 on the RAA NPLSA ladder. Slattery. Polly. It's put over the line. It'll be a corner kick here for Croydon. A throw in rather. John wins it in the 18-yard box. Still under pressure a little bit. Comets will take this throw in. Comets managed to gain a little bit of yardage there. Although there's a little bit of dispute over who should have got that throw in. Game started with a little bit of pace, but certainly slowed down a little bit. So Luic sends it long. He finds Irabona. Irabona's just made his run. Flag is down. Nope, flag's up now. The last touch, no good. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Free kick as a result of the offside will be taken about 20 yards out from that touchline by Daniel Margush. 27-year-old, extremely experienced keeper for Croydon. A-League career spanning Western Sydney Wanderers, Perth Glory and Adelaide United. Saved 6 shots last time they met Comets, but unfortunately sent off in the 92nd minute, just before they conceded the second and final goal back in round 3, when these two teams met for the first time following the now Croydon coach switching colours. George Chisonis finishing up with Comets at the end of 2024, heading up this Croydon team, which currently sit in 4th spot on that REA NPLSA ladder. Looked like the advantage may have been allowed there, but no, brought back for a free kick. Thomas Greco distributing from that number 6 position. Passia John gets that little flick off. It finds Hisamoto. Now a little bit of space here. Sent by Slattery. It looked like it was looking for Passia John, but not quite accurate enough. Doesn't seem to be raining quite at this moment, but still a little bit damp here at Regency Park. These artificial pitches really proving their worth in this wet weather, because we haven't really seen any players slipping or anything, which is good to see. Croydon sending the troops back to get ready for this corner kick. Aladdin Irabona will take it off his right boot. Right boot, that sent the ball into the back of the net Wednesday night. Unfortunately, Irabona did miss his penalty, and he looked absolutely devastated about that after a huge shift in the cup. Now Croydon just seeming to get a little bit of momentum back, just having a bit more possession and moving the ball forward. Sent in, just didn't quite make it to the head of Luca Trimboli. Great ball in from James Polly though. But Croydon still 1-0 down at home in the 26th minute. Jaden Labasso launches the shot, but he's probably running a little bit too hard and not able to take a second to line that up, with Christopher Vivian applying plenty of pressure on him. Margush aims to clear quickly, and Croydon perhaps just trying to maintain a little bit of momentum that they seem to have at the moment. That high press of Comets has just seemed to lift a little bit now that they do have that advantage. And I will be curious to see if tired legs become a factor late in this game, because I've got a list of some of the players that played 120 minutes midweek. Matthew Chandler, their big defender. Jaden Labasso, really energetic striker. Aladdin Irabona by his side, also coming back from injury, although he did appear late in last weekend's RA NPL round against Adelaide United, but big 120 minutes in his first start in some time. Ethan Karkafiris, 120 minutes, as did Economopoulos and Luich. So plenty of minutes in the legs of these Comets players. Will it affect them late? We'll have to wait and see. As Passia John battles Klimek, attempted to find, looked like Slattery in the middle. Looking to strike again quickly. Bolmapore powering through. Slides it to Slattery, but he's just bumped off the ball maybe a little bit too easily. Polly didn't look like it quite had enough pepper behind it to be a shot. Was possibly looking for Trimboli in the middle. But to the safe hands of Daniel Vaughan in the end. Thomas Greco. And once again, Croydon with an opportunity to build from the back. Polly just sends it a little bit too far beyond both Slattery and Hisamoto. Possibly just a little bit panicked and in a little bit too much of a hurry there. Irabona looking to exploit this loose ball. Ooh. Croydon player got a little deflection on it. But another corner for Adelaide Comets. Of course, they managed to produce from the corner on the other side. Get that first goal just 10 minutes in. Thanks to that header from Damien Luich. What can Irabona deliver from the opposite side off his right foot? Bit of a shorter ball. Headed away by Klimek. Trimboli sends it back to his captain's feet. Comets throw in. Ball was looking for Slattery, but Luich all over it. That was a poor attempt at a pass up forward by Stelios Zacharakis. Polly finds Hisamoto. He's under some pressure. Economopoulos, I was bound to stumble on that at some point today. Just applying a little bit of pressure and forcing him to go all the way back to Margush. Patient in the build-up here, Croydon. No rush for the home side, just 30 minutes in on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. There's a ball sent long. Passia John jostling for position. He's got Chandler all over him though. Attempted a cross off the right foot, but a goal kick, the result. Mentioned Matthew Chandler a couple times already, but he was an absolute standout midweek. All the way from Canada. has spent time playing in the Canadian Premier League for Valor FC, I believe. 25 years of age. Just another one of players giving a little bit of international flavour to the RAA NPLSA. Jaden Labasso, what can he create here? He's got Park to his right. It's just overrun a little bit. Gathered by Christopher Vivian. Passia John weighs up his options. Modest crowd at Regency Park. But still a good amount of bums in seats on the camera side of the park at the moment. The hot chips seem like order of the day today. Certainly the weather for it. Top scorers for the home team so far this season in the RAA NPL. Maya Hisamoto with 7 to his name. Passia John with 6. On the other side, it's Jaden Labasso leading the scoring with 5. Although goals have been a little bit harder to come by for Comets this season. Greco battling to send it forward, just didn't quite get to James Polly. Jaden Labasso goes down. Just on the topic of goals, some stats for you. Croydon, 25 goals scored as of this point of the season. Comets, just 12. Croydon have conceded a little bit more with 22. Comets 17, but evident that Comets have been struggling a little bit to find the back of the net. Bombapore denies them in this occasion as Hisamoto fights for it. Goes to ground, made a brief appeal for the free kick. A little bit of lapse of concentration there for Comets. Passia John certainly looked held up there, and the yellow card showing to Harry Thomas. Harry Thomas, yellow, 35th minute. And Croydon will take their time to set this up. Certainly no rush at this early stage, despite the scoreline. John back to Hisamoto. A touch from Hisamoto. Not quite good enough. Was perhaps expecting his captain to run onto it, but results in a Comets throw-in. And a little bit of evidence of the conditions here at the moment. You can see on the home team bench, the blanket out, a few umbrellas. Long ball. I was possibly looking to put Ladner Abona on the end of it. Doesn't make it there. Polly struggling with his footing there, but Slattery's off on the near side. Cross comes off the left boot. That's just beyond Passia John, and he'll let that go over for a Comets throw-in. Talking about the benches of these two sides as we get to halftime, and I wonder particularly if Comets will look to utilise that bench given the amount of minutes and some of their players' legs. Jack Dorsey is there, 21-year-old. Philip Spadavecchia also. Another player with plenty of starts this season. Joshua Lanzilli, Panayoti Politis. Nicholas Stojanovic back on the bench for Comets after a brief absence. And Johnny Tremontin, goalkeeper and a former Croydon player as well, interestingly. Polly has got Hisimoto in front of him, opts to send it wide. The left boot is Slattery. Chance for Hisimoto. Deflected. Greco. So these chances for Croydon just starting to add up a little bit. Still nothing with a huge amount of conviction, but here come Comets on the counter. Sent in from inside that 18-yard box from Anthony Mavrolambardos looking for Vladimir Bonner. Didn't make it there, but good news for Comets. Yet another corner kick. By my count, it's probably at least 5 or so. I think it's the 4th just from this side. That first one, of course, resulting in that goal just 10 minutes in to Damian Luic. Longer and higher delivery this time. Margush caught into action, gets a fist to it. Bonnet with another cross in. Comets throw in. The pace of this game still patient, let's say. Really long throw. Almost made it to the 6-yard box. And it's presenting a problem here for Croydon. Somewhat of a clearance, but still danger. Header from Anthony Mavrolambardos. Thanks for that cross from Stelios Zacharakis. And Croydon will slowly build again. Polly. Greco just fighting to get on the end of that ball. Passia John does so. They have to play it back and just refine their shape. "40 minutes on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. Getting a little bit closer. Slattery trying to dribble it into the centre. Hisimoto was attempting to help, but being a little bit too tightly marked by Park. Bonner. He's got Labasso presenting as an option in the middle, as is Matthew Chandler. Harry Thomas did not manage to get that cross in the end. And Daniel Margush has run off in pursuit of that. Looks like he'll want to take this goal kick pretty quickly. Maybe trying to get a little bit of urgency about this home side as they potentially try to level it in the lead up to half-time. RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia. In this 14th round of RAA NPLSA action. Hisimoto Not sure if he did get a touch or it just went past him. But Greco picks it up. He fights it through. Gets past Maverick Bardos. That cross made it in. Croydon maintain possession. And we'll try again. Greco, Hisamoto, and Martinello linking up. Slattery looks for the cross. Launches it off that left boot. Passy John went airborne going after it. No dice once again. So this first half really looking like a story of Comets taking their chances, particularly off that corner early. That did result in that Damien Luic goal. And the home side a little bit more patient, managing to bring the ball forward, but that last little effort sort of lacking at this stage. Didn't quite make it to Slattery on the favoured left-hand side. Labasso has Luic running onto it. Gets the cross off. Margush managed to stop that one en route to Aladdin Irabona on the far post. Greco threads it through to find Hisamoto. Nice little ball to attempt to find Jaden Labasso there. Had it been weighted a little bit differently, may have found him and presented a real opportunity. Loose ball sent forward to Park. Here's Labasso to try once again off the loose ball. Opted for the cross. Didn't find Irabona. So a couple of opportunities for Comets late in this half. And just going beyond that, Croydon's last attack, I guess, it was a nice little ball to try to find Greco. He's really good at just threading those through, looking for players in the middle. But Hisamoto is having a very tough time this afternoon, going up against the huge body of the Canadian Matthew Chandler. He's got two players surrounding him at the moment, Hisamoto, as he tried to present for that one. Instead, Oscar Slattery was the option chosen once again, but didn't quite make it as far as to his feet. Maport threads it to Hisamoto. Slattery doesn't quite manage to keep it in. Martinello manages hold on to that one, despite some pressure from Labasso. Polly. Hisamoto, now he's got a little bit of space. Picks out Passy John. Two players in front of him. Gets that shot off his right boot. Straight to the hands of Daniel Vaughan. Into additional time. 30 seconds in. Hasn't been a huge amount of stoppages, so I don't predict we'll have a great deal of it. May just seen the assistant on the near side do a quick check of the watch. And there the whistle goes. So just 1 minute of additional time played. And the first half ends with the home team, Croydon, trailing by 1 goal. Thanks to that effort, that head up in the 10th minute from Damian Luic. They were patient in their pursuit of getting that one back. So Croydon may look to dial up the intensity. Again, been chatting about it. A lot of minutes in some of these Comets players' legs will potentially open up an opportunity for Croydon in this second half. Of course, don't forget as well, midweek FK Beer Grad, Adelaide Croatia Raiders, the big derby in the Australia Cup happening at Service FM Stadium. NPLSA website if you want to get your tickets. We'll see you in the second half.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Hi, Stephen Curry here. Way too many Australians are seriously injured or die on our roads, and everyone has a right to get home safe every day, no exceptions. Let's champion road safety for all our sakes. Remove distractions, keep your phone out of sight, don't speed, drive tired or under the influence, and talk with friends and family about staying safe on the road. For more info, visit the website, take the pledge and wear a yellow ribbon on yourself or your car to show your support. Let's all stay safe out there.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
And he's done so, and he's made it 2-0. Contender for goal of the week. He knows Luke Magetto off his line. And he's chipped him from about 25 yards out and taken a 2-0 lead.
Hi, Stephen Curry here. Way too many Australians are seriously injured or die on our roads, and everyone has a right to get home safe every day, no exceptions. Let's champion road safety for all our sakes. Remove distractions, keep your phone out of sight, don't speed, drive tired or under the influence, and talk with friends and family about staying safe on the road. For more info, visit the website, take the pledge and wear a yellow ribbon on yourself or your car to show your support. Let's all stay safe out there.
What I'm excited about, the most, how we can come together, learn about everybody, because we're not the same, but we're somehow the same.
The community came to government to express their concerns about young people. It is our role to listen and it's our role to act.
There's so many kids wanting to play the game from all walks of life.
African Youth Program was established to help Africans with sport, cultural identity, mentorship.
Having a program that's going to target the African children, given it's their sport of choice, presents a huge opportunity to link participation in football with education, which is a perfect thing.
I think the African Youth Program will be a very inclusive program with different teams, different schools coming to play with us.
It's like a very big opportunity to expand skills, knowledge, and in different areas of life.
Most of the kids will grow from this program to be able to become valuable, positive contributors in our society.
Like a voice to be spoken with and not being scared to show your skills.
This empowerment program has many different aspects to it, and of course sport is one of those, but it's actually really about finding your place in the world.
I think everybody's pushing in the one direction to make sure that we can make a real difference.
It's not just a game, it's a very passionate sport that millions of people around the world love to play. That's what football is.
Ryan with the free kick. Hands off Cameron Woodfins. Oh, what a save. What a save by Cody Ostray.
Lining up. He's sent into the area. And it's great save there from Woodlands. And we'll give another corner in the end, but
have all 3 points tonight. Although, still possible opportunities. Joy Kingburn with the header. And Vaughan, I think, had to make that save.
Hit it and does. And he forces a great save from Magetto there and pushes it wide for a corner.
Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG.
Has a little bit of space, takes it down nicely and plays a nice sweet ball to Millie Scott. Scott on the run now, has a shot, and she's beaten her opponent to the far post and opened the score for Metro United. Fine goal by Millie Scott, and it's 1-0 in the One World LED Sportal scoreboard. Rushes aside, great, comes out to Hadaj. She finds Mansueto at the far side, she's onside. Nice touch by Mansueto to pass her opponent, she struck that beautifully. And Metro United have got themselves back ahead. After some fine work on the far side of Victoria Mansueto. It's 2-1.
Back to Noto again, just putting a ball into the centre. Could this make it? Number 5. Good save from Lucas.
That ball clipped over for Rojas. The flag has stayed down. Rojas to restore Flinders' lead. Saved. The edge of the penalty area, you would imagine. And the ball might break here. Box! Oh, great save, Jenner. It might still fall for Box.
On the back of the announcement of the celebration of football, NPLSA will be investing $50,000 into a coach education fund. $35,000 will be invested into community coach education, which will see 19 courses at club venues and over 500 community coaches. Working closely with clubs to develop and upskill coaches will strengthen the grassroots community, which will obviously benefit the football community as a whole.
It can only be beneficial because most of the clubs, most of the coaches start off just as parents coaching their kids' teams, and they're learning on the job as much as the kids. So this would be perfect because not only would kids be getting coached, the coaches will be getting coached.
As a club, we struggle to attract good coaches, and having this sort of funding coming our way will actually allow us to sort of offer more boys and girls out there to actually coach at the club. Everything comes at a cost these days, and this award presented to our club here again will allow our average parents, supporters, players to the opportunity to come out and actually to take on coaching and to be part of it. They've got a passion about this sport and a passion about this club. They'll be able to come here now, get trained up, and actually take on a team and just move forward with us here.
The remaining $15,000 will be invested into a joint initiative with NPLSA, Adelaide United and PSV, where selected coaches and technical directors from South Australia will be given the professional development opportunity to go to PSV in October 2025.
Once you get the bug for the coaching, you love it, and you love seeing the kids improve, especially the connection to your club. You want to see the kids come through at your club, and it's just a win-win for everyone.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different, but between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. Let the moment sink in, then let it rip. The runs out wide, last-ditch efforts and clean sheets. The tap-in or rocket to the top bins. The eruption of the 12th player that sends shivers down your spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
For over 20
Welcome back for the second half at Regency Park. Croydon FC hosting Adelaide Comets. The visitors, the first team to get back out on the park. Home side just taking their positions now. The visitors managed to get on the board just 10 minutes in, thanks to a corner that found the head of Damian Luic. Harry Thomas from Comets got a yellow card at the 35-minute mark. But aside from that, a pretty patient and polite affair. Perhaps a little bit surprising so, given that 2 red cards were shown the first time these two teams met back in round 3. Comets, the victors on that occasion, thanks to a couple of late goals. Croydon being reduced to 9 men. It looks like there will be a substitution for Comets. not terribly surprising, I must say, because one of the things we've been talking about a lot was the fact that Comets are coming off that big cup game that happened midweek, so plenty of the players playing the full 120 minutes. Jake Dorsey is the player that is coming on wearing the number 7. 21 years of age. Player that came through the Comets reserves ranks, and he came on in the 108th minute mark of the midweek cup game, so some fresh legs being provided for Adelaide Comets. I can't tell you yet who he has come on for, but as soon as I find out, I'll let you know. Round 14 in the RAA NPLSA, and of course we thank the RAA, proud supporters of Football South Australia. And if you love the game, why not study it? Flinders University now offers degrees in sport, teaching, psychology, social work and more at its new city campus. Apply now for mid-year entry. Bomberpaw picks out Passia John. Klimek, captain of his home side, and Oscar Slattery looked to be in a good position there. Not able to make the most of it. So Jake Dorsey, the substitution, looks to be up front for Adelaide Comets, and Aladdin Irabona, more of a central attacking midfielder type role. Minsung Park on the left-hand side. Stelios Zacharakis, who just got a touch on the right. Just trying to figure out who's the player that's come off for Comets. Passia John with little attempt at a cross there. He'll get another try if he manages to shake these two defenders. He does. Cross finds Trimboli. Hisamoto just beaten to the ball by Park. Still just trying to figure out who the player that's come off for Comets is, as Passia John's beaten to that. Klimek's under some real pressure. Trimboli just a little bit slow to it. Greco. Shot eventually taken, but well off target. And it looks like it has been Harry Thomas who's come off for Adelaide Comets. Former Adelaide City player who was the only player to come into this side. I guess the only starting player different to what Comets with started midweek. I really stuffed up saying that. Anyway, the only new starter in this side compared to the last game has come off. Harry Thomas at halftime. Jake Dorsey taking his place, and he's second striker along with Jaden Labasso. Hasn't been a lightning quick start to this second half, if we're being completely honest. Given that Comets currently have the lead and potentially some tired legs on the park, I wouldn't expect them to be going all out in pursuit of Croydon, and on the flip side, Croydon maybe just buying their time, because you'd suspect that fatigue would probably start showing, particularly around the 60-minute mark of this game and beyond. The man taking that goal kick was possibly the standout of that midweek fixture against Metro Stars in the Cup at Service FM Stadium. Called into action plenty of times in that second half. Stopped that late onslaught from Metro Stars. However, not able to be the hero on the day in the penalty shootout. Greco. Hisamoto, who's looks like he's been feeling the pressure this afternoon. That's a nice ball, though, to Trimboli. Passia John has a little bit of time. Intercepted. Christopher Vivian has some time to assess options, though. Nice little ball to find Greco in the middle, but ends up loose and Chandler deals with it. Comets just looked like they were about to mount one of their trademark counter-attacks there. Not to be. Daniel Margush looking for his team, which is for the most part well advanced on the pitch. Mapor ends up being loose. Irabona linking up with Labasso. Tracks it back. Labasso again. The cross is cut out by Bomapor, but it'll be another corner kick for Comets, who would certainly be leading that tally. I don't have those stats for you, but I can tell you with a great deal of certainty they'd be leading that tally. They'd have to have at least 6 or 7 corners. Of course, that first one was their most important and impactful, resulting in a Damian Luic header that found the back of the net in the 10-minute mark. 2 hands in the air. From this angle, that one looked threatening again. Still in a little bit of danger here. Croydon struggling to deal with it. But here's Passia John with a whole lot of park in front of him. Opts to just pull up and play back rather than go in full counter-attack mode. Slattery picked out on the left. Polly tried to support as the rain starts to fall at Regency Park. I went down to the pitch at half-time and it looked a lot more grey than it seems from my position at the moment, and probably than it seems on your TV at home. The lights are on, and for 3:40 in the afternoon, it certainly seems a little bit later than that. Proper winter football today. The sort of stuff that we're probably a little bit less used to here in Oz. And I felt a little bit like an Englishman at halftime, craving a cup of tea or something to warm up a little bit. All the way back to Margush. Labasso's running up to try and put some pressure on him. The rain just coming down a little bit harder here now. Greco wins it. Some spring in his step now as he battles Aladdin Erabona. And that was interesting. Stelios Zacharias just fell to the ground and he's just put his hand in the air. What's happened there? Passia John. James Polly. A chance here. And it's good. Back of the net. Level here at Regency Park. And some words being said between a couple of the Comets players here. Kostelius Zacharakis went down, put his hand straight in the air. I didn't see a challenge or anything happen to him. And he's got some words to say. It looks like it may be to his coach. Not sure what it is, but there's certainly some frustration there, and it will be the quick substitution taken for Adelaide Comets. Just trying to unpack that a little bit here, but the cliff notes are 55-minute mark. We're now level at Regency Park, and Croydon rewarded for their patience. Can't even tell you who that goal scorer is, but I'm going to go back and check the replay and just double check that. But another chance. Hisamoto, Polly. They're playing with a little bit of a spring in their step now. Hisamoto manages to get to the end of that. Another dangerous loose ball in the box. Alexander, good look to get the touch on that, who's made his way onto the field for Croydon. Missed that one somewhere along the line. I wonder if that was possibly what the source of some of those words being said before the goal were. Cornered out here for Croydon. It's high. Captain Luke Klimek, who just turned 36 years of age, fancied himself a chance at that one. Ends up in the car park. The rain's just easing up a little bit here now at Regency Park, and a chance to just have a look at the replay. I'm going to try let you know what happened just in the lead up to that goal. Okay, so in terms of Stelios Zacharakis, he just pulled up and went to ground. So it was possibly a hamstring injury or something, or maybe a bad cramp. I'm not too sure, but he just sort of stopped what he was doing and went to ground. And I can also tell you now that that goal at the 55th minute mark was a captain goal for Croydon. Luke Klimek, the man to put things on even terms here at Regency Park. 55 minutes, Luke Klimek. And Croydon just managing to keep their cool in that instance and make the most of the opportunity that presented itself. It's Jaden Labasso squeezed. Freeze taken quickly. Desperate defending from Croydon. Passia John has it. Minsung Park in front of him. Klimek. Just a little bit more confidence in possession now, Croydon. Now, the other bit of information I promised I'd get to you is the substitution for Adelaide Comets, the second one, and it was Joshua Lanzini that came on. for Stelios Zacharakis. Meanwhile, Pasir John tries to see what he can create here. Unfortunately, Matthew Chandler was between him and Luca Trimboli. Minsun Park offloads it to Mavrilyn Bardos and onto Ethan Kakafiris. There's a challenge that will result in a free kick. Taken quickly. Luic. Bomberpore wins possession and a chance for Croydon here on the counter. Lanzilli, the sub, will try to defend that, but the cross is good. Just about went into the paths of Pasir John, if not for that defensive header. It looked like it came off the head of Luic or Kakafiris on second inspection. Corner for Croydon, rather. So these opportunities starting to open up for the home side. Said before that some of the tiredness and some of the fatigue might start showing for Comets around this point, given the gruelling midweek game in the Australia Cup qualifier. And these opportunities for Croydon have been adding up over the last 5 or 10. While we've got a bit of a break in the action, a chance to check in with the other games happening at the moment and perhaps even the live ladder. We are just shy of half-time up in Playford, who lead Campbelltown 2-1 currently. Campbelltown opened the scoring in the 21st minute, but goals in the 33rd and 34th minute, changing the complexion of things completely and quickly. So Playford look like they'll be leading at the break. Meanwhile, league leaders Metro Stars currently leading Adelaide Croatia Raiders at Croatia Sports Complex 1-0. Now this is interesting. Keeper for Adelaide Croatia Raiders, Vincent Barbaro, received a red card in just the second minute. Haven't had the chance to review the footage of it yet, but I guess the main take out of that, they'll be without their main keeper for the midweek cup game at Service FM. So the big Derby Cup game on neutral territory, Adelaide Croatia Raiders will be without the player that's become their main keeper, Vincent Barbaro. So more frustration for Adelaide Croatia Raiders, who just can't seem to get anything right at this point of the season. Minsun Park tries to open up a bit of space in front of his right foot. Luic will control and try to get a second opportunity for Comets, but no. Goes out for a Croydon throw-in. Hisamoto didn't quite manage to get it to Alexander Good, the substitute for the home side. Throw in one though, that'll be taken by James Polly. We'll have a look at the table in a moment. Plenty of game to be played in the other matches this afternoon, but worth just having a look at where we stand at the present time. So if Croydon manage to take this game to a draw, it'll be 22 points. And 5th spot, assuming Playford get the win. Comets currently on 17 points. If they manage to take all 3 away from this, they'd be on 19 and just out of that top 6. Not worth looking at that too much now, though, because still 30 minutes of action here and 45 or so at the other games happening around Adelaide in the RAA NPLSA. Economopoulos manages to get it to the option on his right. And Lanzilli. People putting their umbrellas away below us at the moment, so no rain at this particular point in time. Greco. John Rather's just called for that ball. Just sent a little bit beyond him to allow that initial shot. But let's try to slip the ball to Klimek, but possibly a bit of a miscommunication. Klimek's in the spot to follow this up. Passia John didn't quite manage to get that loose ball capably dealt with by Daniel Vaughan. Daniel Margush at one end, Daniel Vaughan in the other. Aladdin Irabona. Ball spilled. Nice little one to find Trimboli. The chance here! And he launches it off the right foot. Back of the net for Luca Trimboli. And now the home side lead. 22nd minute of this second half. Rewarded for their persistence. The home side, Croydon. We suspected that after such a big midweek game, Comets may struggle. They only made one change to their starting 11. And it looks like they'll be making a couple of changes right now. It is Anthony Mavrolambardos and Nicholas Economopoulos that will be coming off. There's about 8 syllables worth of surname between them, the 2 players that have come on. Haven't managed to get a look at yet. Looks like Philip Spanavecchia is one of them. He's in that central defensive midfield type position, and he gets his first touch now. And the other player is wearing the number 24, which means it's Panayoti Politis. It's his 6th appearance in RAA NPLSA. Hasn't yet started for the seniors. But a chance to impress here for the 18-year-old Jaden Labasso. Still on the ground after paying a big 120 minutes midweek. Aladdin Irabona is too. Just quickly scanning the sheet here. Damian Luic still on the park also. Played 120 minutes, as did Matthew Chandler. So there'll be a few players that will have earned their dinner after a pretty intense week. Come 90 minutes tonight for Comets. I am interested, not related to this game, but just for comparison's sake, how the Metro Stars starting 11 looks for their game against Adelaide Croatia Raiders, considering they also came off that one that went all the way to penalties midweek. I'm going to have a look at that just out of a little bit of curiosity. I do know Metro Stars don't do a great deal of changes to their lineup. I'm just having a quick look at it now. Pretty much exactly the same as expected. No, a couple of changes. Fabian Barbiero, no, he came on late, so he wasn't part of the starting 11. Scott Nagel was part of the starting 11 Wednesday, and he's the only player that's starting on the bench for Metro Stars. Michael Cittadini, the player that's coming in, and I believe it's his first start since coming back from injury. Bomberport. Thomas Greco. Passia John was on the run once again and he'll compete for this. Launched by Santana Barkowski, who's made his way onto the field for the home side at some point. Missed that one. .27 minutes into this second half on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. Round 14 in the RAA NPL South Australia. RAA, proud supporters of Football SA. Football South Australia, I should say. Jaden Labasso still battling. Labasso again, picking out Spadavecchia. Luic, player that opened the scoring just 10 minutes in, off his head, following the corner won by Adelaide Comets. Luke Klimek, the Croydon captain, striking in the 55th in Trimboli in the 67th minute. Still a chance to do more this home side against what I'd imagine is some very tired Adelaide Comets legs. The luxury of being able to be patient here. That run from Matthew Chandler just to chase that ball as it approached the sideline there just looked a little bit laboured. Could be due to the big game midweek, could be due to the fact that he's carrying around a 197 centimetre tall frame. Long throwing, finds that tall head of Matthew Chandler. Kept in by James Polly. Picks out Barkowski. Bolmaport sends it back up that same wing. Flags up. And there goes the whistle. Nice ball to find Trimboli. Luic just about managed to pick out Irabona, but was beaten by the sideline in the end. Have another quick look at the other games. Seeing his action stalled a little bit here. And there's been no change. It is half-time currently, though, at Playford, where they still lead Campbelltown 2-1. And at Jeps Cross, where Northeastern Metro Stars still lead Adelaide Croatia Raiders 1-0. On the live ladder, Croydon equal points with Playford, 22 apiece. 8th spot currently, Adelaide Comets on 17. Nice little ball to find Passia John. Launched it off his right foot, but into Minsung's Park's backside. Alexander Good was picked out, but Park continues to battle. Luke Klimic just tried to push the player off to just defend his position, but gave away a free kick in the process. Park. Luic cut it short to Dorsey. He goes down in the 18-yard box. Nothing of it, though. Trimboli's picked out and sends that ball onto Barkowski. Back with Good. He cuts it back in. John! Doesn't get to it in the end. Near chance to get themselves 2 goals clear. 32 minutes into this second half. Would have just about wrapped things up against a tired Adelaide Comets, one would suspect. However, Comets, despite going down in the end and penalties midweek, will possibly take some confidence and a little bit of maybe a tailwind after that midweek effort. I'll certainly hope that that momentum and that fight that they've shown is something that's continued through this back half of the NPL season. And hopefully this man is a significant fixture and won't have the break from action that he did during the first half. Aladdin Irabona, of course. As he lines up to take this free kick. 4 goals to his name. He's slipped into more of a midfield position in the second half. Sends it long. Spadavecchia. Fancied his shot. And that loose ball's picked up. Now Passia John is leading this counter-attack. Has a shot from well out. Won't trouble Dan Vaughan at all. Santana Barkowski was floating around the middle. Not fancied as the best option, though. Luic still running hard and strong. Be interesting to see how many kilometres some of these Comets players have covered this week. Passia John again links up with Polly. Martinello, Bombaport, making Luich run just a little bit more. Last ball was poor in the end for Croydon, but they do have possession still. Passia John, not sure if that was an effort to offload it to, I believe it was Trimboli behind him. It was Trimboli, or just a poor touch, but nonetheless, it's now all the way back for a throw-in in their defensive third. Games in Playford against Campbelltown. Back underway as we wait for Raiders and Metro Stars at Jeps Cross to get started again soon. Greco manages to keep his feet. Klimek manages to find the head of good. Now it finds the sideline. The 36-year-old captain of his Croydon side, Luke Klimek. Trimboli gets ahead to it, but goes to no one in the end. As Croydon struggle to stop Philip Spadavecchia. Looks like Comets are possibly getting ready to make another substitution. Just ticked over the 80-minute mark. We're at about 82 on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. It looks like the rain's happening yet again. It's been a bit of a story of umbrellas opening and closing this afternoon. You can probably see on the camera a pretty damp South Road. Daniel Margush punches it away to the feet of Alexander Good. That touch trying to find Santana Barkowski, not good enough. The cross. Luich tried to get himself on the end of that to do something for Comets on the counter. It's Matthew Chandler. Now, surprisingly, I've sort of been anticipating that it was likely to happen. The sort of fatigue kick in for Adelaide Comets, but still at this stage, fighting. Made a few changes, but some of the players that played the full 120 midweek still out there trying to make a difference, as Matthew Chandler's one of them, and he just tried to do so then. Here's another one of them, Damian Luich. A couple of big players that you'd suspect maybe feeling it a little bit more than the others, but I think their intensity during the second half has been quite good. Yet the task of equalising still in front of them, though. Free kick won by Croydon. And there's our change. Nathan Karkafiris coming off. Wearing the number 23, Nikola Stojanovic coming on. So he's been missing from the squad in recent weeks. And Croydon taking the opportunity to make a change in the 86th minute. 85th minute, rather, as well. It's Junior David back in the side, the Solomon Islands international. That slips into that striker position. And, yeah, Luca Trimboli was the one that made way for him, who, of course, put this home side in front in the 67th minute. Good. Challenged by Park on the sideline. Throw in is one, though, by Croydon. Luke Klimek, the captain, will take it. Sends it long, but it finds ahead of Park. Panayiotis Pilatus with a touch. Young 18-year-old trying to make a little bit of an impression. No starts yet for this Adelaide Comets senior side. Does have 6 appearances to his name now, though. Well won by Chandler. Impatiently so, even manages to get a free kick. Daniel Horn decides that he's going to take this and send his players forward to try to find an equaliser. Jade Labasso beaten by Christopher Vivian. Luich still there just fighting. Been impressed. Again, given the amount of minutes played over the last 7 days. Pass here, John. I don't feel like John has perhaps had the impact this afternoon that he would have liked, but getting on the score sheet late is, I'm sure, something that he'd love to do. 2 goals in last week's game, and there's a challenge in front of the Comets bench that seems to have Con Antonio seeing red. A little bit of frustration shown. And there's the yellow card shown to the Comets coach, and a little bit of a cheer from the home side as well. Never short on emotion, the Comets coach, but he's just told to put a lid on it by today's referee in Dennis Palosage, assisted by Thomas Temby and Joshua Britvek. What can Comets create here? Bartkowski decides to play it back. Just Comets continuing to apply a good amount of pressure late. Bulmer Port looked like he was going to try and mount a bit of an offensive effort. Minsel Park with a nice long ball. Just got past the head of Eribona, although he's won it anyway. Eribona's running to it, but Markush safely gets his hands there. Luke Klimek, he's got good in front of him. Doesn't make it there, though. But a throw-in one at a high position. Only a minute or so left to go of the 90 minutes. Good, trying to keep it in, and he does so. Battling right on the sideline, but eventually it comes off the Croydon player. Minsel Park opting to quickly take the throw-in. Nice little header one by Luke Klimek. Stojanovic. Spadavecchia. Moving forward at pace. It's a nice touch to find Eribona. He's under some pressure, though, from Bulmer Port. Kept his feet. Finds the head of Labasso, and it looked like not a bad effort, at least from where I'm sitting. Not to be, as we are in the final 20 seconds or so of our 90 minutes of regular time. Now you'd suspect that Daniel Margush, the experienced 27-year-old keeper who's got plenty of A-League experience, will be in no rush to take this. John wins it on his chest. Junior David finds Greco as he battles. Nice ball from Klimek to find Passia John, but that flag is up as the whistle goes. Daniel Vaughan once again is demanding that ball. They want to take this one quickly. We're 30 seconds into additional time now. Again, there's only a minute in the first half of additional. You wouldn't expect there to be a great deal in the second. There's been obviously a few changes, but still no real hold-up in play. But a late corner won by Comets. Aladdin Irabona will take it, and Daniel Vaughan is in front of his opposing goal, trying to provide a little bit of assistance. Can he be the man that makes the difference here? Comes flying in head first to try and get a touch to it. Aladdin Irabona sends it back into the middle. And Daniel Vaughan's still over there. He hasn't come back to try to defend, and lucky he hasn't done so, because it's another corner won by Adelaide Comets. He'll get to try again and see if he can get his name on the score sheet. Here he is. Wasn't the best touch initially from the Comets keeper, but he's well off the line now, and Croydon rather, will look to exploit that. Good. He's beaten to the ball. But Greco picks it up in the middle of the park. Passia John, he launches the shot. Bartkowski. Although Vaughan had made his way back. What an effort there. Some late entertainment. Came up for a couple of late corners and even ran back and did a little bit of goalkeeping as well. Very impressive, especially after such an impressive game from Vaughan. Midweek, he's thinking, you know what, we've got a little bit of momentum behind us. Let's see what we can do and put on our own two shoulders. 2.5 minutes into additional time, but now it is a corner won by Croydon. Thomas Greco decides to take it short to Passia John, and they're really content just to hold up play. Mintook Park clears it from the touchline. Bartkowski wins it. Gets a nice little touch to it to find Junior David, and he fancied a little shot there. Stopped by Daniel Vaughan, who tries to pick out Jaden Labasso for a late effort. Just over 3 minutes in additional time now. You'd suspect that whistle not too far away. Spadavecchia picks out, just about picked out Aladdin Irabona. Comes back to try gather. And one more chance here for Croydon on the counter-attack, although that was quickly stifled. Deflection taken off that attempted a clearance from Daniel Vaughan. They're not out of danger though. He's good to try and get past Park. And he launches the shot! (3-1) late, 4 minutes of additional time. Celebration to match for the home side. And now sealed at the 94-minute mark for the home side in Croydon. Look, you can't fault Daniel Vaughan for having some bravery in trying to take the game to the home side here. Whether you lose 2-1 or 3-1, 3 points is 3 points. The ultimate result not changed, but we can add the name Alexander Good to the score sheet. 94 minutes in. The substitution making it 3-1. And the whistle will go any second here. Irabona just about found Labasso there. We know that Comets can score late, but there is the whistle. All done here at Regency Park. And a great final goal there, giving the home fans something to cheer about. Ultimately rewarded for their patience. Croydon getting the result, 3-1, all 3 points. And Comets once again showing a lot of heart with what must be some really tired players lasting the full 90 minutes. Luich for Comets in 10 minutes. Luke Klimek, Croydon captain, 55-minute goal. Trimboli in the 67th. Alexander Good, late in the 94th. Makes it a 3-1 win for the home side in Croydon. Now we'll be signing off in just a second, but remember, of course, big game happening at Service FM Stadium midweek. FK Beograd, Adelaide Croatia Raiders, the big derby happening at a neutral venue in the Australia Cup, and it's going to be a good one. Don't miss out. Football SA website if you want to get tickets. But for now, Simon Jimenez signing off. We'll catch you next time.